Does Master Chief die in Halo Infinite? This is a fan theory I've seen floating around the internet. Let's talk about it.
The Master Chief is dead.
See, in my last video, I had a conversation down in the comments with a viewer about this very topic, and they had some valid points. It's had me thinking for the past few days, so I did some digging. At the end of Halo 3, in December of 2552, Chief and Cortana were left drifting in space after the portal between the Ark and Earth closed. Chief goes into cryo and waits to be recovered. After searching for 3 months, Chief is not found and is actually declared MIA, missing in action, in March of 2553. 3 years later, in September of 2556, a musical event, Believe, takes place at the UNSC Symphony Hall as a remembrance to those who were lost during the Human and Covenant War. In July of 2557, Chief is awoken from cryosleep and the events of Halo 4 take place. Over a year later, in October of 2558, Chief and Blue Team go AWOL, absent without approved leave, and Chief is declared dead.
Let him go?
How is it
Nobody lets the Chief do anything. He does what he wants.
Until 0631 this morning, when he was declared absent without leave.
This isn't about the Master
John
Chief.
is not equipped emotionally to deal with her as a threat.
This occurs during the campaign of Halo 5, and so according to the UNSC and ONI, Chief is dead long before Halo Infinite takes place. But there's more. In November of 2558, only a month after Chief is declared dead, a film, 117 Heroes Never Die, was set to premiere. It never premieres due to the Guardian attack. In May of 2560, Halo Infinite takes place, at least according to the 8-minute gameplay demo, and we'll find out what happens when the game comes out. In 2607, 47 years after the events of Halo Infinite, the construction of the 117 monument begins, and in 2610, construction is completed. Now, the monument is not considered to be canon. However, the reason it is constructed is significant and gives this fan theory some legitimacy. You see, the monument summarizes the final days of the Human Covenant War and Master Chief's sacrifice during the Human Covenant War. It is based on the second battle of New Mombasa, which was part of Microsoft's Halo 3 ad campaign, and it was not Bungie's work. This campaign occurred during the Bungie era and before Microsoft had access to Halo 3, so the second battle of New Mombasa actually never occurs. And while it is based on Halo 3, it shows that Microsoft, and by extension 343, has thought of a scenario where Master Chief will die in a Halo game. Seeing as how Cortana was killed off in Halo 4 and then brought back as the big bad evil guy in Halo 5, there is a possibility that 343 will sacrifice Master Chief in Halo Infinite. It would allow them to start crafting their own original character and story moving forward. We all know that Halo Infinite is going to be the last Halo game for at least the next 10 years, so it's entirely possible that during an expansion, and I've talked about this in previous videos, this is the direction I think they're going to be moving in as far as opening up different sections of the Halo ring. They're going to be doing expansions. I think that during an expansion, they're going to introduce their new main character and the new storyline for this main character of their own creation. This would complete them breaking the ties and the bonds that Bungie had set forth for them, and as I've said, allow them to create their own unique story. However, killing off the Master Chief would defeat the entire purpose for Halo Infinite if 343 was going for a classical reboot. You see, losing your main character with 20 plus years of love and support would cripple the future of the franchise, and I don't think that's a risk that 343 is willing to take. Currently, hype for Halo is at an all-time high, and killing off Master Chief would cause 343 to lose a vast majority of their fan base basically overnight. It doesn't make sense for them to kill off Master Chief with as much hype that is going on out there. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. Subscribe if you want to. Hit that like button if it's something you're into. And take care. I hope to see you in the next one, Spartans.
Outlive
us both. Set a fire in your heart, Spartan. Bear